Hey, and welcome back to On the Beat. I'm David Wilson, joined as always by Stephen Bailey and Trevor Haas. Stephen and I will be traveling down to Raleigh, North Carolina all day Friday to cover Syracuse, NC State at 3:30 p.m. on Saturday. It should be a good one for Syracuse, I think, after losing to Clemson like we all expected. It's a chance for them to prove themselves in the ACC against a team that's, frankly, more evenly matched than Clemson was.
Yeah, I mean, you call it a chance to prove themselves. It's also a chance for fans to actually see them compete against a team that's close to their level or comparable. I don't think Wagner or Tulane really did enough to even, the offense moved the ball against them, but it doesn't say as much as them trying to move the ball against North Carolina State. One of the things I'll be watching for on offense is are the wide receivers going to get more involved? They didn't get any separation against Clemson. The cornerbacks were pressing up on the line, and Ashton Broyle discluded as an H-back. The wide receivers had 0 catches.
Yeah, it's amazing. We're through 5 games, and we really don't know that much about Syracuse.
Yeah.
Because we've seen them either against really good teams or really bad teams.
Or with Drew Allen.
Or with Drew Allen.
It wasn't the same team.
Right. Yeah, when Scott Schaefer mentioned Wagner and Tulane, he kind of gave off the vibe that they were pretty good, but they're really not very good. So like you guys have said, this game is really an indicator of how good Syracuse is.
I think another thing that's interesting about this matchup, very similarly structured teams, Syracuse and NC State both like to run the ball a lot. Still looking for consistency out of their quarterback play. I think that's going to make it a close game. It's going to be one of those tough, grinded out games. If NC State gets Mitchell back, the quarterback who started the season, then I think it adds a different dimension. But right now with Pete Thomas under center, they're very even teams, I think.
Well, I think that kind of style does favor Syracuse a little bit. From the offensive side of the ball, Jerome's been doing pretty well. I think the Clemson game was the first time he averaged more yards per play than Prince Tyson Gully. And on the other side of the ball, the strength of Syracuse defense is the front 7. There's no question about that. The linebackers are good moving to the ball. And the secondary right now, it looked bad against Clemson and it lost its #1 cornerback in Keon. So I think it's a good thing for them that they're playing a team that's not going to really, you don't expect them to attack them as much as maybe some other teams in the conference would.
Yeah, some teams shy away from the ugly kind of game, but I think Syracuse and Scott Schaefer in particular embrace that mentality. So if they're going to win ugly, that's really not a problem. I think it's going to be close and pretty down to the wire.
Yeah.
All right, let's get some over-unders. Over-under 7.5 catches for Syracuse's wide receivers.
I will go over.
Yeah. Over.
Yeah, I think over too. Over under 42 yards as the longest field goal that Ryan Norton attempts.
I'm gonna say under. I think he could hit it, but North Carolina State's allowed 11 of 13 touchdowns in the red zone, as Trevor told us earlier. So I think Syracuse will be able to get closer than that.
Yeah, I'll go under.
I'm going to actually go over. Not by much, but I think he'll be over.
You think he makes it?
Not 65.
I don't think he makes it. I think he goes over. Last one, over under 0.5 times that Scott Schaefer visits Chick-fil-A.
At least 3. Over.
Over 10.5, you said?
0.5.
Oh, 0.5. Over.
I'll go over. I'll go once.
Yeah.
And last but not least, let's get our predictions.
28-27 Syracuse. Definitely going to be a close game. I think they'll get their first road ACC win, and they'll keep kind of their outside bowl hopes alive.
I said 2017 NC State. Really could go either way, but I think NC State's a little more proven. They've played more games than Syracuse in the clutch, so more ACC experience. I think they'll pull it up.
I'm going to say 27-23, but like you said, it's pretty much a toss-up, I think. Thanks again for joining us. Be sure to follow our coverage all weekend long at dailyorange.com and follow us on Twitter at DO Sports. Thanks a lot.